Imagine a world where the government could change the rules of the game without anyone having a say. What your rights could be overshadowed by the state's policies? That's the essence of the Minerva Mills case, a pivotal moment in India's constitutional law. In 1980, the Supreme Court of India tackled significant questions concerning the very fabric of the Indian Constitution. At the heart of this case were Sections 4 and 55 of the 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act introduced in 1976. This amendment proposed a sweeping change by placing the directive principles of state policy, or DPSPs, above fundamental rights. This meant that the government's economic and social objectives would take precedence over individuals' rights. This was a dangerous direction for democracy. The case arose because Minerva Mills, a textile company, challenged the constitutionality of these provisions. They argued that the amendments effectively curtailed the power of the judiciary to review parliamentary actions. So, what were the underlying issues here? First, the amendments aimed to give Parliament a sort of unlimited power to alter the constitution. This challenge to judicial review raised alarm bells for many in India who cherish democracy and personal freedoms. Article 368, as altered by the 42nd Amendment, effectively sought to remove the judiciary's ability to oversee amendments. This essentially meant that Parliament could change the constitution without checks and balances. Think about that for a second. How would a government operate without judicial oversight? These questions turned the Minerva Mills case into a landmark struggle for the soul of Indian democracy. The Supreme Court had to consider a fundamental principle from a previous case, Kesavananda Bharati vs. State of Kerala. This principle introduced what's called the Basic Structure Doctrine. It established that certain features of the Constitution could not be altered or destroyed by amendments. So, did the amendments in question violate this Basic Structure Doctrine? The court had a challenging job. On one hand, the amendments intended to bolster the government's authority. On the other, there was the risk of undermining the Constitution's core principles. The Supreme Court ruled that the 42nd Amendment amendments infringed upon fundamental rights. It concluded that while DPSPs are vital for ensuring socio-economic justice, they cannot come at the expense of fundamental rights. These rights are the bedrock of individual freedom. To support its ruling, the court emphasized the necessity of judicial review. This oversight is key to ensuring that no law or amendment can trample on the rights guaranteed to citizens by the Constitution. Without judicial review, the government's power could threaten democracy. Imagine giving one branch of government the freedom to do as it pleases without oversight. It could lead to authoritarian rule. And that's not what the Constitution was created for. The court's opinion reaffirmed that both fundamental rights and DPSPs must coexist. No one should dominate the other. This means Parliament cannot craft amendments that overlook citizens' rights in favor of state agendas. Through its decision, the court drew a line. It upheld that judicial review is not just a privilege but a fundamental part of the Constitution's basic structure. This principle protects citizens from arbitrary government actions. This ruling was monumental for several reasons. First, it reinstated the priorities of the Constitution, where individual rights must be protected. Second, it confirmed that the powers of the Parliament, while significant, are not absolute. And lastly, it emphasized that democracy thrives when all branches of government maintain a system of checks and balances. The Minerva Mills case was not just legal jargon. It was about protecting the rights of every individual in India. It called for respect for the democratic processes embedded in the Constitution. This case stands as a reminder of the constant vigilance needed to protect our liberties. As citizens, we must understand the importance of our rights and the frameworks that protect them. These legal battles shape our society in profound ways. Do you resonate with the consequences of these decisions? Isn't it essential to appreciate the delicate balance between government power and individual rights? If you found this discussion impactful, consider sharing your thoughts in the comments below. What other landmark cases do you think have shaped our rights? Remember to like this video and subscribe for more insights into significant legal battles that have shaped India. Our constitution is not just a document, it's a living entity that needs our attention. By staying informed, we uphold its principles. Every time we engage in discussions about our rights, we honor the ongoing struggle for justice. Minerva Mills serves as a pivotal lesson on the importance of checks and balances in a democratic society, shaping how we view our constitution today.